Hillary with Dominion Tea, and today we're going to talk about how to cold brew tea. So cold brewing is just another way, very similar to ice, to make your tea while it's cold, and it's really, quite frankly, simple. It's almost like making iced tea. The only difference is you're only going to use room temperature or cold water. So what do you do here? You need roughly 4 tablespoons or 24 grams per half gallon of water. And you're just gonna pour into a pitcher that half gallon. You're gonna put in your 24 grams, and then you're gonna put the pitcher, make sure your pitcher has a lid, into the refrigerator. So why do you want a lid? We're dealing with tea here, and tea likes to absorb lots of flavors. So while it's steeping in your refrigerator, if you don't have a lid on it, it's going to start to absorb all the other smells in your refrigerator. So you wanna make sure you have that lid. So how long does it stay in the refrigerator? Anywhere from 6 to 12 hours, give or take what you're steeping. So we've started a batch of matcha infused sencha. And so we did this yesterday. And once you're ready and you've hit the end of your steeping period, and it's pretty flexible, you're gonna strain it out, right? So ideally you're gonna have a second pitcher, you're gonna use your strainer, and out you go. So, why cold brew? It's really easy. You don't have to do a lot of work. But more importantly, for some of your teas that might not, or you might not think of for iced tea, you've got the opportunity to drink it cold. And this is especially true of all your Japanese greens. And in fact, the Japanese have been cold brewing tea for a long time. So after you've poured out your cold brewed tea, what you're going to want to do is just keep it stored in the refrigerator. This is not something you're going to want to keep out on the counter because your tea is going to oxidize, which means in about 4 to 5 days it's going to get really cloudy and start to discolor on you. So the easy part, store it in the fridge, and when you're ready, you can take it out, put some ice in your cup, and pour yourself a beautiful cup of cold brewed tea. So what teas to think about when you want to cold brew? Think lighter teas. So all your green teas, like the ones out of Japan we mentioned earlier, white teas, those are some really fun ones, as well as some of the lighter oolongs. You can also absolutely cold brew your black tea that you would take through a traditional iced tea making. It's kind of your choice and your preference. It's a heck of a lot easier because what you can do is put your tea into your water, put it into the fridge before you go to bed, and when you wake up in the morning, it's going to be ready for you. And so that may be the easier way to get your cold tea every day. And the last part that you want to think about as you're working through your cold brewed tea is what other new flavors to try, because this avenue absolutely is going to introduce you to different types of tea. I will say if you're going to do the rooibos or any of your caffeine frees, you can do them the same way, but they actually brew up a little bit better if you start the tea in about 180 to 200 degree water. So you start there with that warmer water, so you're still shy of a boil. And the easiest way to get there, if you don't have an electric kettle with a button, is to go to a boil and then wait about 4 minutes for the temperature to drop, and then pour it over the leaves. Give the leaves about 2 to 3 minutes in the water, and then add the cold water and put it in the refrigerator. You'll get a better outcome for those herbal teas. So as you play with drinking cold tea, tell us what you learned in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.